Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about ILUS stock, Ilus stock, Ilus Strato Pictures International. It's important to take note that the share price has been dumping after a bit of a run here. Here it ran from 0076 low to a high of 12 for about a 50% gain depending on where you bought. And now it's pulling back. Buyers aren't stepping in. More than likely, people are waiting for what I'm waiting for, which is 005s, low 005s to be specific. That is where we should have our strongest support. And right now, I get it. This huge run up got a lot of people excited. There's some bags up here. It came down. Someone got mad at me because I said this bear flag this is a bear flag. It's going to break down, and the guy thought it was going to break out for some reason. And now here we are. We're coming back down nice and cheap. We've been here before. I was just talking about Aitx. Aitx, same thing. It had a huge run up, and then it pulled back quite a bit. One PR, and that changes everything, So I really hope Ilus, you guys, and if you're from the Ilus Discord listening to this, you really need to encourage JP and Nick Link to like, hey, you really should get an IR professional or something. Just like, how is AITX about to destroy you in share price? All because they drop PRs. They do. They actually drop consistent PRs. This thing has had more run ups already than Ilus this year. And it's up what, 40%. And look, Ilus right now is in a bad place in terms of share price. Okay, I get it. The company has been following through. It's been, revenues are going up. I get it. I get that the company's doing great and it's not being reflected in the share price. But without PRs, it means absolutely nothing. And AITX, people were euphoric when it was running, and then in this downtrend, people were crying in the AITX Discord, and now people are speaking like different languages now. Everyone's speaking French and Spanish and Japanese in the AITX Discord because everyone's so excited now because it's up 41% on a hot PR. So what's the point I'm trying to make here by making this comparison is, yes, we had a run up and then here it is, we're trending to the downside and people aren't excited. I'm sure people are wondering, why isn't this going up? Why? Well, because this company really does need an IR professional. They need to be dropping consistent PRs. They don't have to be every day like AITX. You don't have to have the CEO, Nick Link, constantly making a video every Saturday morning. But it would be appreciated, of course, but they need more consistent PRs here. Like, I don't care if it's 2 a month. Like, we need more. If not, then we're just going to eventually come down as low as 002s. And I'm sure someone's laughing at me. Yeah, it's never going to go down there. But that same person probably laughed at me when I said it was going to go below 4 cents, which was supposed to hold there because that's where it ran up as far as 50, but it didn't. It broke right through it, and here we are now. So ultimately, what I'm saying is, I think people are waiting for 005s just like I am. We've seen buyers step in twice already. And I think that's where we're headed, and that's where I'm going to add my bigger position, assuming it doesn't just completely destroy that level. Because it is possible it just destroys it. It is possible we even go as low as 002s. Again, I just showed you another example, another penny stock in the OTC, which has worse revenues and a worse balance sheet, and more debt, and a worse share structure than Ilus. But ultimately, what moves the share price? PRs. So again, if you're in the Aitx Discord watching this, definitely, like, you guys need to encourage your boys over there to, like, you need more PRs. Without those, we'll just keep dropping. And that's kind of been the story as of late. But let it come down. I'm going to buy at 005 if it doesn't just completely destroy that level. And we'll swing trade it to the upside as per usual. We know the uplist is coming this year. So I would expect another hot PR that sends it eventually. We'll take advantage of that. We'll take our profits. Everyone will be excited when this thing starts running again. That is just the cycle of penny stocks. Let me see if I can... Oops, that's the wrong one. Again, that is the cycle. It goes up and down. AITX, as you can see, it's a different pattern from Ilus. Can you see why? Because they are always communicating with their shareholders. They don't really leave us in the dark. It's rare that they do. So I really do hope Ilus steps up their game here, because they can do all the talking, but without a lot of walking, without a lot of communicating is really what I should be saying. it's gonna end up with a whole matzo ball, just a whole fat zero, 009. That's really the trend for Ilus, right? I mean, this thing AITX. If it wasn't for the PRs, guess what happens with penny stocks that don't have PRs? Let me pull up Gaxi. I think that's a classic one, right? Without PRs, what happens? The volume dries up, and it just kind of finds a bottom somewhere, and it just kind of goes nowhere because no one cares about it because there are no PRs. Soundhound, a perfect example. This is yeah, a perfect example. Technically, it's still considered a penny stock because it's under $5, but again, this thing only ran up as high as $10 because Nvidia disclosed their stake in Soundhound. If it hadn't been for that, we'd probably still be ranging down here where it was ranging between $5 and $1. It was just kind of ranging there for quite a while, since like what 20 yeah, since July 2022. So that PR is the reason we created a higher floor, and that's about it, guys. Like that is know the game that you're playing. I know a lot of you are investors in Ilus, but you really should. I mean, a lot of you really should. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea if everyone just sent Nick Link or Blackwell just an email just requesting, like, please, like, communicate with us, because that's without that, I mean, the share price is going to keep dumping. And if they continue with this pattern going into Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange, then it's going to be pretty bad. Because this is the pattern now. If we uplist, when we do uplist, I should say, if they still continue this pattern of not communicating and dropping the rare PR every now and then we're just going to see the Ilus share price get destroyed even after the uplist. Because until they change the pattern, that's what we would expect, right? That's all I'm saying. Patterns pretty easy to recognize, and it's also easy to recognize when things change. And I think until they start communicating more, I see the stock continuing to create lower lows and lower highs over the long term. But there will always be, regardless, there will always be opportunities for upside, because we know they do drop a PR every now and then. So GME, I mean, right now, perfect example of the what, like, why did it start moving like this? Catalyst, PRs, headlines. Without those, GME was just kind of slowly trending to the downside, found a bottom, and it started getting hype. Roaring Kitty came back, and look at all that crazy volatile movement. So that's really, I mean, that's what it comes down to, guys. That's really, I think, what it is. I kind of have always known this, but it's not until now that I'm like, I mean, seriously, without them communicating, at least communicate once a week, something, give us something. Without that communication consistently, it's just a share price that's going to keep coming down. It'll bottom out, it'll run, and then rinse and repeat and keep going down. That's really what it's been doing since forever, since that run to 50 cents. And that's it for the video, guys. I don't want to keep you around too long. I just I know it's frustrating, especially for longs, because you guys are holding a gigantic bag. You're holding a lot of red in a lot of the positions that you bought above 1 penny at this point. And I know it sucks. The share price isn't reflecting what the company has been doing. But again, what moves the price? PRs, and without those, I just don't see. I don't see a future where AITX. I don't see a future where Ilus trends to the upside until they stop talking and just follow through, and drop PRs consistently to keep us up to date, to get people excited, to get people speculating, like, oh, maybe this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Because that's what AITX Discord does. They're always speculating, like, okay, he said that, and the CEO said this on Saturday, but we also know when we looked at the filings that this is going to happen in 2 months, and they start speculating and getting excited, and people start buying, and so on and so forth. I imagine a lot of that doesn't really happen with Ilus because the CEO is not communicating every Saturday in a video format, and they're certainly not dropping any kind of PRs or even tweets at all either. So I think that's the big takeaway here from this video. AITX, I think it's going to surpass Ilus eventually. Despite the horrible share structure, it will surpass it. And when that happens, I'm going to remind you, like, it really is just the PRs. That's all it is. I mean, that's what the market is. PRs. Nvidia. Why has it moved to 1,200 when it was at 120? PRs, good earnings, absolutely destroying on earnings, headlines. That's what's moving this. Even right now, after the stock split, it's still going up. If you bought in at 125, when I told you, when I made several videos telling you buy Nvidia and sit on it for 20 years, thank me later. It's the future is bright as long as you know what to buy. And that is it. I'm done. I'm done ranting. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully, it's not too much of a downer of a video. Again, there we will eventually have another run up, and but hopefully, you guys like reach out and tell them like we really do need you to start communicating with us. Maybe you don't have to do so like you did back then, but there needs to be a balance here. Because without that balance, we're just falling, and that's been the pattern since that huge run to 50 cents. And that is it for the video.